So most people think they're on track for retirement until it's too late. Now I've helped dozens of people retire early as well as hundreds more on their path to financial freedom already. Here are the 5 silent mistakes that can wreck everything that you've worked so hard for, enslaved and saved away, and most people never see them coming. First and foremost, number 1 is relying on retirement for the long haul. They usually say this when the market goes down. You might have been hearing this lately. You heard people say, oh, you just gotta keep dollar cost averaging. You gotta just keep putting money in. And if you just keep doing it, you're in it for the long haul, and you just set it and forget it, eventually it's gonna work out, right? Bull crap. I witnessed this firsthand, not just for my own life, because of course I started investing right about Y2K, which is a great time to start my little 401k with the company I used to work with. But for me, actually, it was with my dad. See, my dad, he was saving and slaving away, and he was a penny pinching saver. This guy was debt-free, saving all he could in his retirement plans. Well, of course, in 1999, what does he see? He sees something kind of like you might have noticed in the last few years. Tech stocks booming. And he's like getting kind of getting that FOMO, right? Because he's saying like, wait a minute, I'm in these companies. This is not making nearly as much money as some of my coworkers making tens of percent a year, if not into the hundreds. And by the way, there was actually literally funds in 1999 that paid over 100% returns in 1999. It was like amazing, incredible. And so he's like, well, maybe I'm gonna move my money over there. And so he did. Well, what happens? Y2K crashes, right? We see a massive correction. We're about a 40% correction in the stock market. And so that kicked his butt. So he, of course, gets his money rebalanced to make it more positive, get it to where it's more conservative. And then it starts to go up again. Now, I sat down with him in 2005. At the very end of 2005, I'm sitting down with him as a financial advisor, and I had to tell him, like, Dad, you've done everything right, but unfortunately, because of the money you have now, even though it's recovered, unfortunately, it's just not enough. You only have about 5 or 6 years to live in retirement. So you're gonna have to keep working or keep saving away until you finally get there, which he did until his 70s. Because guess what happened 2 years later? He was still in the stock market, and then of course 2007, really the end of 2007 going to 2008, market crashes all the way through 2009. And by the way, that crash, that only lasted for about 15, 16 months. But from that high to low, it was 16 months, but it took another 6 years to recover. Now, some people say, well, no, Chris, by 2013, the market came back to where it was in 2007. It did, but remember, people are charged fees the whole time. And so what happens is, of course, it took them a whole bunch longer to get to that point. So, of course, it took him until 2015 to make his money back from the year 2000. You're only in it for the long haul if you're in a place that's risky, and you do not want to be in that place. And this kind of leads to the next thing, is trusting traditional financial advisors blindly. Now, I wasn't his first advisor. He had other advisors that advised him and said, well, just keep saving, keep doing it. You ever notice that the advice never changes? They might say, well, maybe you want to rebalance your portfolio. They might say stuff like that. But for the most part, they're not doing jack squat. They're just guessing. They have no clue what's happening in the market, nor do you. It's the blind leading the blind, and you're the one that has to deal with the consequences. Because financial advisors don't deal with the consequences. They get paid whether you make money or not. They get paid of assets under management. They get paid their 1 or 2% fees every single year, whether you make money. Some people have lost already this year about 20% in 2025. Well, if you had $1 million and now you're looking at only 800,000, well, guess what? You lost 200,000, but your financial advisor, if they charged you 1%, all they lost was going from 10,000 a year of commissions to 8,000 a year commissions. That is just BS. That's just not worthwhile. Do not follow them blindly, because financial advisors can't retire either off of the same investments. Why would you follow their advice too? Now, here's another one that gets people in retirement. People underestimate inflation and healthcare costs. Because inflation, see, they always tell you it's 2-3% a year, whatever, right? They've been saying that forever. But here's the truth. You go to shadowstats.com. Over there, they actually show you what they did ever since about post 1979, 1980, ever since the Carter administration. The government has actually changed the way that they actually track inflation so that the numbers look lower. Why do they want it to look lower? So then they have to pay less on Social Security. So they have to give you as big of a raise each year. And so they're trying to get Social Security to last longer. They show lower stats. But the truth is, inflation is almost about 6 or 7% higher than what they're claiming. That means if it's 2% of the report, it's really closer to like 8 or 9% a year. That might feel more true, especially the last 5 years. You've seen this happen where you've seen prices literally double, but they say it's only been 50%. So be aware of that. Plus, healthcare costs do get more expensive. My dad, he realized his own personal inflation rate went up by 25% because one of the things, even though he had all the coverage he still had to pay $1,000 a month out of pocket for a specific shot for his bursitis. That can cripple and ruin your retirement. This next one here, starting too late. And this isn't your fault in many cases. Many cases it might just be that life gets in the way, you have family issues that come up, you have maybe health issues that come up, you might have like other things, you might just be surviving paycheck to paycheck. So when they tell you to start too late, I'm gonna tell you it's never too late. The best time to start is right now. And sometimes, I'll tell you, this is a surprise for people, and if you need to know more, definitely on our website, moneyripples.com, we give you those answers. But sometimes people realize they're closer to financial freedom than they realize. Now moving to this last point, ignoring cash flow. This is the biggest thing that financial advisors don't do, and it catches people off guard. So many times I've had clients come to me, they're saying, hey Chris, I've got $2 million. I'm like, good. So why are we talking? Well, because I have zero passive income. I can't retire. I'm like, you can't retire off $2 million? No, because the financial advisor says I can live on 3% a year. Well, that's only $60,000 a year. I want to live on $100,000 a year. Well, my answer to them is you can either keep following your financial advisor's blind advice. You can keep saving away until you have at least $4 million. Then you'll have enough probably to live on $100,000 a year after taxes or more. You might need more than $4 million, so double your money. Or you get it to pay you cash flow. And this is the big thing. For him, he's like, wait a minute, so what do you mean? I said, well, if you take that $2 million, you invest in some of these real estate investments that we do, 10%, even if it's only 10%, many of them pay more, but let's just say it's 10%, that's paying you 200 grand a year. What did you want to have again? 100 grand a year. Right, you can double your cash flow right now. So you can either do one of two things. One, you can keep saving away for several years to keep doubling your money, chasing inflation. Or two, you can literally double your financial freedom number today. That's your choice. So the real question is coming to you too is, what are you doing for your financial freedom? What kind of plan are you going to create that passive income for you? So my challenge to you is this. If you want to know like how much passive income can you actually create, try our passive income calculator right now in the description below.